Hello, and thank you for joining us today at the My Super Handyman workshop. And today we will be getting some wood ready for building a stool. All of the wood that I use in my projects have been deconstructed out of either a building or a house. If you look, you can see that the wood is kind of dirty and kind of rustic. Pull this piece up. The first thing you want to do when you got some deconstructed wood is to brush it with a steel brush, and also to check if any nails or screws that may be in it. Once you do that, the next thing you're going to want to do is square out the ends of the wood as best as you can, and that's why I have this T-square. Okay. Once I square out the ends and get it cleaned down, I will cut it on the table saw. And once I cut it on the table saw, then I will join the ends, and then I'll plane it all down to make it look clean and brand new wood. Once that process is done, then I'll actually start taking the measurements for the stool. So this is just the first of many processes to actually getting a project built with deconstructed wood. Thanks for tuning in, and this is the first part of many more. Thank you. Alright, thank you for tuning back in to My Super Handyman. And right now I'm at the second part of the process of cleaning the wood. The first part, as I did tell you, was with cleaning the wood with a steel wool brush. Right now I got the piece cleaned as good as it can, no nails, anything, and I will be cutting one side to have a straight edge before I put it on the joiner and the planer. So once you figure out what side you want to cut, probably want to take off about 1/4 inch. So I'll pretty much line it up with the blade. And right now that tells me it's at about 5 inches. So I'm going to take 1/4 of that off to about right there. Make sure this thing is lined up nice and straight. Then you're going to want to raise the blade up to just above the piece of wood. Perfect. Okay. So I'll be cutting that edge off. Anytime you're cutting, you want the piece that you're drawing away to be on the other side of the blade. So yeah, that looks about right. I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece and see how it turns out. Obviously, you're going to want to cut that saw off as soon as you can. Step back and look at it. It's a pretty clean cut. It's got a couple of saw marks on it, but that'll be able to be sanded down. So at this point, I'm about to join it and then plane it to make it clean like brand new wood again. And pretty much I have about 3 or 4 other pieces that I'll be doing the same thing to. And I'll let you see when I actually get it all ready to be joined and planed. Thanks for tuning in. to my Super Handyman wood shop. Alright, thank you for tuning back in to the My Super Handyman wood shop. Today we're preparing wood for a wood stool. And pretty much at this point we've cleaned off 3 sides of the wood that we're going to be using. This last side is going to get planed off. Okay, one side got joined, one side got cleaned off at the table saw, and this bottom side also got joined. And this other piece of wood is the same exact way. Okay, so it's just one more side to clean before we actually start making the cuts in the wood to start making the stool. First thing you want to do is measure the thickness of the wood. This is just under 1/2. Okay, so now you come and you set your planer at just above 1/2. Right here is a measuring tape where you can see how high it is from the blade. Okay, that's about just above 1/2 right there. Okay, so let me get my goggles, put them on, and start this process. Where in the world did I put my goggles? You gotta have protection. Okay, here you go. Hiding over here by the other piece of wood. Don't want anything to get in your eyes. Your eyes are too precious. Start this bad boy up. Of 2/16 to take a little bit more off. You can see that it took just a little bit off on that side right there. So let's get it back on and actually clean the rest of it off. Okay, now we have a fully cleaned off piece of wood that was once a part of a house or building, and now we can actually start cutting it to shaping our project. So I'll do this other piece, and at the next part I'll actually start drawing out the stool and piecing the pieces together. Thanks for tuning in to My Super Handyman Wood Shop.